Hi everyone. I hope all of you can hear me. Sorry about the previous one. Like I was saying, this is in fact my first time doing a Facebook Live. So because of that, might experience a little bit of technical glitches. So bear with me till we get this going. In the meantime, if you all can hear me, would you mind dropping a comment or a thumbs up saying you all can hear me? So once again, thank you very much for joining, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank my dear friend Asi and the team at 1 Minute Motivation for the wonderful job they're doing, and thank you very much for having me here and giving this opportunity. It is a great platform, and I've been following 1 Minute Motivation from the very beginning, and I have seen what a lot of great work they do. So I'm super excited and thrilled to be a part of this program, and it is right. Hello everyone. So we have our friends joining us. So it's 4:01, and let us start the session right now. As we start, once again, let me thank all of you for joining us today. Thank you very much. It's such an honor to have all of you here, and it's my privilege to be sharing my insights, my ideas, more like a discussion with all of you. So feel free to drop in your questions. We will try as much as possible to answer all of them related to your career. And before I share with you the main discussion points for today, let me share with you a couple of things about me. I have been working in Sri Lanka for multinationals, large conglomerates, startup companies, tried my own business when so this whole corporate experience, I have close to about 17 years of that, and starting at a very young age of 19 and starting right at the bottom as a telemarketing executive, and then ending up as the head of consultant, head of business for so along the journey through these 17 years, I've gathered a lot of experience, and by virtue of the network and with all my friends and colleagues with their experiences as well, a lot of the things that I have gathered along the way has helped me right now to coach a lot of the clients that I have in terms of their careers as well. And that is why we thought we will come up with a topic like that. So diving right into the discussion, let me start by saying this. As an adult, on average, we spend about 2/3 of our lives doing a job. It could be in a company, it could be a corporate job, or it could be our own business, in which case it is a little longer than 2/3. But either way, we spend a lot of our waking life doing a job. So because of that, I think understanding why we do our job and to be able to do well in our job is very important. If not, it simply means that we're wasting 2/3 of our lives. That's the idea. And also, here is another thing. According to a very latest research conducted by the Forbes magazine as late as 2019, close to about 85% of adults who are engaged in employment are not engaged, or they don't enjoy their jobs. I mean, it's pretty sad, isn't it? 85% of us. So a lot of us try to do this. A lot of us have been misguided lately by a lot of these so-called thinkers and visionaries who say that you need to get into a business, you need to create your own business to create wealth. But do you know something? According to a Gallup study, 9 out of 10 businesses fail within the first 12 to 18 months. So I'm not going to go deep into that, and I'm not trying to sound negative and tell you that starting your own business is not the smartest thing, but I'm just telling you, if you look at it mathematically, a lot of people are engaged in employment, and a lot of them do make it work. So if you want to check your chances, you can make it work. You doing a job as well. You can achieve your financial freedom. You can be happy doing a job. It's just, it takes a little bit of adjusting in our mindset. It takes a little bit of improvisation and improvement to the way we do our jobs, and we can achieve a lot, right? So, starting off, let me share with you a few common reasons as to why a lot of us don't enjoy our work, why a lot of us don't enjoy our jobs. Starting off, the leading reason why a lot of people don't enjoy their jobs is because they haven't really understood the reason. They haven't really understood the purpose of why they are engaged in the job. Sometimes it is related to the company and the particular work that they do. Otherwise, it's a very generic lack of a vision or a plan about why am I doing my job? Why does it matter? So the lack of vision, the lack of purpose related to your job is a very big reason why a lot of people don't enjoy and don't succeed in the job that they do. Secondly, I know a lot of you there will join in a hoorah when I say that. The second leading reason why a lot of us don't enjoy our jobs is because of tadang, bosses. That's right, a lot of you there who are bosses as well are probably thinking about it, and I have been leading and been a part of teams all my life as well. And initially when a lot of people said that they don't enjoy their work because of the job, because of the boss, even I was a little reluctant to accept it, wondering, what's wrong with bosses? But the truth is, having a not so inspiring, how do I say, I need to sound politically correct as well, having a not so inspiring or a not so motivating, a not so a leader, a true leader as a boss is another reason why a lot of us fail and also don't enjoy our jobs. So I would love to say, if you are somebody who's not enjoying your job because of your boss, leave a comment, but I'm not going to do that because this video is going to be recorded and it's going to be available on social media. So I don't want any of you to get into trouble by saying, hey, I'm not enjoying my job because of my boss. But we all know that's one of the leading reasons, right? Maybe what you can do is right now you can give a thumbs up or a heart if you are not enjoying your career because of a boss. That way at least I'll know I'm in the company of right people, right? Okay, there you go. We see some interaction coming in. That's good. Okay, the third reason why a lot of us don't succeed in our jobs, or why a lot of us don't enjoy, if you notice, there's going to be a... Okay, thanks for the feedback. I mean, a lot of you think that boss thinks he's always right. I'll get to that, guys. Thanks for the feedback and thanks for interacting. The third reason why a lot of us don't enjoy work or feel stuck is because we always have this mindset, or we always feel like we're doing a lot of work. We are always busy. We're doing a lot of things. Somehow we are stuck. We don't get the break that we want. We don't get the money that we want. There is multiple reasons for it, but this idea that you are stuck is one reason why we don't do well and we don't enjoy our work and we don't succeed. Partly there are some valuable reasons, like the company is not expanding, or the senior management or the ownership of the company is not really strategic about how they take care of their employees and things like that. It could be partly because of that, but it could also mean that we haven't really gotten ahead of our game. We haven't gotten ahead of understanding how is it that we need to make a difference. So we end up working late hours. On average, a lot of us work 12 hours, which is quite disturbing, but we end up working 12 hours. And I know some of you must be thinking 12 hours, you're lucky. We are at work for like 14 hours. Yeah, that's true. But we do a lot of work, but we don't seem to get the results. So that's another reason. And fourth one, this is in fact the one that I want to work with a lot of you, is that our ego or our mindset gets in the way. And specifically, it's our ego. A lot of us tend to think that, hey, I come to work, I do a good job, so I need to get everything that I deserve. And like some of you have already shared here, some of us think the boss doesn't know. The boss got there because he's the owner's cousin, or he's been here before me, or some reason like that. And we think we know it all. Maybe you know a lot, but we think we know it all. And also, whenever we are asked to do things, we sometimes think we are above that. So we think, hey, you know what? Why should I take photocopies for everyone? Can't the boss walk? Or can't that guy go and get his things done? So a lot of us have this ego getting in the way. And when we have to socialize and network with our colleagues and friends also, A lot of us tend to think that, you know what, I don't need to deal with these people. Sometimes you have this elitist mentality thinking, oh, I come from this background, I've been doing these things, I'm above this job. And a lot of us think that, you know what, I shouldn't be doing this. The only reason why I'm doing it is because I'm waiting till I get my next break, I'm waiting till I start my job. So our mindset is the fourth, but the most powerful and the strongest reason why a lot of us don't succeed in our jobs, why a lot of us get stuck, right? So quickly to summarize, number one, a lot of us don't have a goal, a vision or a plan regarding our careers. That's one reason why we don't enjoy and we feel stuck. Number two, we all have those blessed bosses that we have to deal with. A lot of us would like to think and agree that that is number one reason, but definitely I agree with you. That's a very strong reason. And number three, we somehow feel stuck. Either the company is not expanding, we are overworked, so therefore we don't have the time to do the things that we should be doing, so we feel really stuck and lack of motivation. And then the fourth reason is our mindset, or specifically our ego. Our ego, that we fail to follow protocol, we fail to honor the chain of command, we fail to do what is necessary, and we always think we are above what we are doing and our job is always below us. So these are the reasons why a lot of us feel stuck. Now at this moment, I'm not limiting the reason why we are stuck or we are not succeeding to these four, but I'm saying for the purpose of our conversation today and to relate to a lot of you, these are four main reasons. But in the meantime, if you guys have any other specific reasons as to why you are stuck at work or you're stuck at your job, please feel free to drop a comment and we will pick up that reason and try and connect it as we go on, right? So once again, welcome to all our friends who are joining us. We still have a few of them joining us. Thank you very much for taking time and joining us. And once again, I would like to give a big shout out to my friend Asi and the team at 1 Minute Motivation for this wonderful job they are doing through this page. The page has seen remarkable success over a period, and I'm very, very happy and privileged to be a part of the 1 Minute community and share this day with you. So thank you, a big shout out to Asi, and also thanks a lot to all of you for joining in. Thank you very much. Right, let's get to the crux of the discussion. Let me share with you, as you can see, I have made a few notes because I don't want to miss out on the important points I want to share with you. So let me start by sharing a few principles, or if I may call, some guidelines for success in your job, right? And if you're ready to take these things, and if you have a pen and a paper at hand, you can even make a note of it. Now, give a thumbs up, give a heart, and say that you're here, you're enjoying the session. Let's keep each other going for the next half an hour or so. I hope to have the conversation for the next 20 minutes or so, and then open it up for Q&A, where you can share some of your questions. So, right. Thank you very much. There's a lot of interaction coming in. Our friends are giving your comments as well. Generation gap. You have cited that as a reason why a lot of people get stuck. Yes, and I would also try to relate that and say that has also got to do with the mindset of ourselves and the superiors as well. Internal politics and the organization culture, or as our friend Amin has mentioned, parachuters in the organization. Yes, my friends, I agree with you as well. In the corporate world, it's really sad that sometimes the deserving people, the talented people who can add value to the business don't get highlighted, because as sad as it is, there is a lot of internal politics that take place in organizations, and also some organizations have internal cultures that are very dominant and that are very, very unique to them, that a lot of people cannot succeed there. So that is also one of the reasons. So thank you very much for sharing these feedback, guys. Thank you very much. We will address all of these things as we go along. So let me start by sharing with you number one reason that is necessary, or number one principle that is necessary for you to succeed in your job, right? Now, this is a combination of a few ideas, so I would like you to stay with me on this one. And if you have any doubts, feel free to leave a comment here. The first thing that I want you to sort out for yourself is understand, why are you doing this job? Careful. Why are you doing this job? I'm not asking you why do you need a job. I'm asking, why are you doing this job? And I'm not trying to get philosophically. I'm not trying to ask you to sort out your purpose in life, sort out the meaning of life. No, I'm not asking you for that. I'm asking you to relate it to your current situation and ask yourself this question. Whatever the job that you're doing right now, there are reasons why you are doing it, right? You might like the job, you might like the company, you might like the impact that you're making. These are a little bit at the high level where you're aligned to the purpose of life and you're doing it. If that is the case, it is fantastic. If not, and if you can't figure it out at that high level, try to be very practical and understand this. When you do your job, and for the fact that you're engaged and employed right now, it gives you a monthly remuneration. It gives you an earning at the end of the month. And this earning helps you to sustain your lifestyle. These earnings help you to maintain your lifestyle and take care of the important things that need, right? I would like to think that a lot of you haven't had the misfortune of not having a job for more than 3-4 months, not having a regular income for 3-4 months. If you ever had gone through that situation in life, which I have personally, you will appreciate having a job that pays you on a monthly basis. You will appreciate the value of that. Understand that. It's not only the high perks, the incentives, but it is also the simple fact that it regulates your income, right? And that income helps you to live a life, maintain certain standards that help you to keep going. That's an important reason why you should wake up every morning and go and do a job. Trust me, this is not going to sort everything out for you, but this is a very good place to start. And if there is anything beyond that connects you at a higher level, like the job is meaningful, the people inspire you, that is great. Failing which, at least understand the fact that this gives you remuneration. Now, starting there, the next thing is always try to have a vision or a plan for your career. I don't mean to say the pseudo visions that people talk about, or the cliches that everybody talk about. At one point I want to be the CEO, at one point I want to be owning my own business. If that is the case, good on you. But even if that is not the case, I'm talking about short to medium term. In the next 18 months, in the next 24 months, what do you want to achieve in your job? Have it clear. Write it down. Sometimes it could be to get a promotion. Sometimes it could be to get an increment. Sometimes it could be to get a job enhancement, maybe a rotation, a different experience. Sometimes it might be to get a secondment opportunity to maybe travel overseas, be at a client site overseas. Sometimes it might be to join another department that you like. So let me share with you a simple example from my personal life, where between 2008, late 2008 to 2012, between the 4 years, I've changed my jobs 5 times. Very simply because every year I got an opportunity with a slight pay raise to go to another company and try something new. And I kept doing that. At some point, I did that because I thought getting a better pay, getting a better designation is an important thing in career. But I realized that is really not helping the case. I realized that if I keep switching jobs every year or every 2 years, just because I get a very marginal pay increase or even an attractive pay increase, but I have to cross industries, I'm not really sure that is a good career plan. Just you're looking for a very short pay increase. Because the truth is, certain careers require you to have those formative years, those building years that you need to spend. You need to take a bit of time to master the craft of that industry. So because of that, it requires you to stay there, learn the craft for a little while. So coming back to the original point, having that vision, that goal for yourself for the short to medium term, and making it reasonable and making it practical beyond the pseudo things like becoming the boss or just getting a pay raise, will help you a lot to get your alignment, get your purpose, get your mindset right for the role. And the second principle is closely related to that. That is, understand very clearly what is expected from your role. A lot of organizations that have mature HR systems will have what is called a job description or a role document that will outline and tell you these are the things that is expected from your role. Get that piece of document to your hand, read it, understand what is it that is expected. But don't limit yourself to that. Not only that, very important, talk to your immediate supervisors, talk to your bosses, talk to your colleagues, and try to understand very clearly sorry, what is it that you should be doing in your job. There are two levels, or at least three areas that you need to know. Number one is what is the minimum that is required, that what the expected standards of your job. Number two, what are the negative behaviors or what are the limiting behaviors that you should be, your performance levels. For example, if you should not be discussing your business plans with outside organizations, if you should not be interfering with certain other organizations, data protection related to your business, confidentiality, competitor, information, conflict of interest. Understand these type of things. And also, like I said, number one is understand the minimum expectations of your role. Number two is understand the negatives or the limiting behaviors of your job. And number three, the most important thing is understand what is the exceptional positives. That means understand what is it that you should be doing to be recognized as a top performer of your level. If your sales targets are, say, 100 million, understand if you exceed 110 or 120, what is the benchmark. Or if you're working with a large group of individuals in the same level, understand what is regarded as the best level of performance. Not only related to sales, even if you're an engineer, even if you're in a technical field, understand what is the best performance level for this role that I'm doing, right? This means you got to go out there and learn it from the people who have done it. So that is number two. Learn what is expected out of your job very well, and also related to that, take some time to learn how to do it well. Take some time to learn how to do it well. Number one, and one of the most important ways to learn this is you've got to learn from the people who have been in the organization. Your boss is a very good option, but if you don't have a very good relationship with your boss, that's not going to help. And also, if you have a boss who has just parachuted from the top, landed there, who doesn't know what the hell they're doing, maybe they won't be able to teach you there. But definitely you can find somebody who is going to be there, who's going to be there for a longer time, who has got it right, who's been doing it right. Learn from them how to do your job right. That is going to be very important. And the third thing that I want you to do is I want you to organize yourself to daily, weekly, monthly tasks, critical tasks that you should be doing at work on a daily, monthly, weekly basis. Things that you should be doing that you shouldn't miss out, so that you do what is expected at your job and you do what is expected at the next level as well. Now at this point I want to touch on something, because a lot of you are sharing the comments here talking about, so what happens if the organization doesn't appreciate you? What happens if you have a bad boss? What happens if there are people who are parachuting, who are getting jobs that are undeserving? Guys, here's the thing. I can empathize with you and I can tell you, oh, you know what, if there is political influences in your organization, if there are corporate politics, if you have a bad boss and all these things, I can ask you to throw a pity party, feel sorry for yourself and be like, oh, I'm doing all the hard work in the world, I don't know why is it that I'm not making it success. But I'm not here to tell you that. If you're somebody who's looking for empathy because you have been dealt a bad hand, let's have this conversation separately. There are things to do. Here, I'm here to ask you to focus on what is it that you can do. Some fundamentals that you can do that is going to help you accelerate your career. So if you have a bad boss, I will also tell you what to do. If you have a bad boss, if you're stuck in a terrible company, you are not inspired by what is happening in your company and what people are doing. I know this is not the answer that you want, but here's the tough answer. Nobody is holding a gun to your head and asking you to stay there and work. Do not feel that you're a victim who should be stuck at your work. You always have the choice of going out there and looking for another job. It's not going to be as easy as I say it, but if you really believe that you have what it takes, you are confident, you're capable, you're competent, and if you have a terrible hand that is dealt at work, start looking out. We can take that conversation on another day and I can help you how to switch careers and then go forward. But this is important. I'm not going to throw an empathy here and then start empathizing and telling you, hey, I feel sorry for you that you have a bad boss, man. No. I want to start sharing with you some useful tips that will help you to build your career and take it forward and focus on what is in your control. That is very important. So coming back, I want you to have a schedule. I want you to have a schedule of daily, monthly, weekly, critical tasks that you should be doing, and I want you to maintain a personal record of completing these things. Have a record for yourself to say that you did these things monthly, you did these things weekly, you did these things on daily basis. There are multiple benefits of recording your performances. Let me start with you by number one. Number one is what gets measured gets improved. When you start keeping a record of what you're doing, you can start improving this. Number two, when it comes to your performance appraisal, when it comes to your promotion interviews, you have evidence and proof to take it and talk to your superiors and say, this is what I have been, these are the things that I have done. You can have a constructive conversation and argument with people to say, this is what I have done. So it helps to have a record of the things that you have done. Don't rely on the monthly information that the company, the finance team prepares, or the sales report. Don't rely on that. You keep a record of, these are the things that I'm supposed to do and these are the things that I have done. This personal record keeping is going to help you, and it will also, when you have this visually in front of you, that maintain like a very simple A4 sheet printed on your workstation. Have a simple Excel sheet on your computer that you say, daily I'm supposed to do this many calls, monthly I'm supposed to send these reports on this date, weekly I'm supposed to attend these meetings. Maintain a record of that, and when it visually tells you you have done your daily task, you have done your weekly task, your monthly task, you will see that you are improving your planning, improving your performances, right? Okay, I have a question about everything is measurable. There are subjective things that cannot be measured, but unfortunately I don't have the time here to explain to you, Gajan. But if we catch up offline, I'll tell you everything have measurable parameters that you can come up with. You can measure your behaviors, you can measure your contributions. You need to start doing that, right? And here's the third principle that I want to share with you. The third principle is your interpersonal skills, your networking within the organization. Guys, this is a completely different subject area that is usually in our training programs we take about a half day to discuss this area about interpersonal skills, and even that is at an introductory level. But let me share with all of you this point, saying when you work in an organization, you work with people. Yes, there could be terrible people who's treating you bad. That is true. However, you need to start treating people right, because understand the psychology. People like to do business or to deal with people that they like. Your boss might be a terrible person, your subordinates might be really bad, but if you improve your interpersonal skills, your people skills to deal with them, I'm not saying that you need to be the nice guy who everybody likes. No, that's not what I'm talking about. And I'm also not telling you that you need to curry favors, you need to do dirty politics and do cheap things to win people over. No. I'm telling you, there are effective professional standards of interpersonal skills. There are emotional, intelligent activities that you can do to win people over. And let me share with you two simple things that you need to do. Understand this psychology. An organization has a hierarchy. It's a pyramid. You always have fewer and fewer at the top, and then you have more and more juniors joining at the bottom level. So here's what I'm telling. Understand the psychology. Unless your boss moves one level up, or there is an opportunity that is created in the level above you, you will not be able to move up in the organization. Similarly, if your bosses or your management promote you to the next level, but there is nobody to take over the current role that you're doing right now, that is also not a fantastic place to get promoted or to succeed. So one of the most important things about interpersonal skills and things that will improve your contribution to the organization is the fact that you've always got to help your boss or people above you to move up. That really helps to create that opportunity at the level above you for you to move up. At the same time, if you are to be moved up, somebody below you should be able to fill your position. That means you've got to spend enough time grooming one of your subordinates or a junior to take up your role so that your management is comfortable and confident in promoting you. I've had this challenge a few times in my career where I have done a lot of good work. I have had the conversation with my bosses. I've understood what is it that I need to do to the next level, and I've been doing it. But I've never got the opportunity. And one day when I asked one of my really good bosses who's been really kind to me and a mentor to me, I asked, why am I not getting the next level? What he said is, look, to be quite honest with you, I have a small challenge. If I promote you to the next level, the juniors are still not ready to do what is done at your level. So I need your help to get somebody to do the job that you're doing right now so that I can take it there. You may agree with this, you may disagree with this, you might think that is the organization's responsibility, but hey, You can wait there hoping for your organization to create it, or you can be smart enough to get one of your subordinates or juniors to fill up this role, right? And you can also create that opportunity that is above you by helping your bosses, your superiors to move up as well. This is one of the fantastic learnings I got from Dr. Hans E.J. Surya. Most of you probably know, one of the leading corporate executives in Sri Lanka at one point, who was the CEO of Dialogue. This is one of the things that he said, that you got to promote the people above you and you got to support the people below you. That's how you can continuously keep moving up a corporate ladder, right? And yeah, I'm just going through my notes. And here's another tip that I want to share with you is, guys, understand this very important thing, that if you're employed at someone else's organization, understand their psychology, understand what is it that they want done in the organization, try and play for that. Remember, businesses are not democracies. As much as you like to think like that, as much as you like to think that if I do the right job, they should give me the promotion. If I'm the best performer, they should promote me. If I'm doing all the right things, even if my boss is doing the wrong thing, or even if I have seen some people who go up to the shareholders, owners of the business, and try to tell them, hey, you're doing something wrong. Look, outside in the civil world, you want to hold your government accountable for that, maybe you have the rights to do that. But if you're a part of a private corporate organization where there are shareholders, here's the thing, I'm not promoting, how do I say, I'm not promoting dictatorship here. I'm not promoting any idea that you should be doing everything that the bosses say and you should be at their mercy, and even if they ask you to kill somebody, you should. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm asking you to be realistic about the fact that if there is a person who has built an organization, built a business, and they're running it, there are certain things that they expect, right? As a paid employee, they will respect your opinion and they will listen to you. But please don't misunderstand the fact that they are going to forget all their ideals, all their aspirations, all their agendas, and listen to everything that you're saying just because you're a top performer and give you all the things that you want. That is your ego kicking in, right? Within reasonable boundaries, within reasonable parameters, understand what is the aspirations of the organization, what are the aspirations of your directors, of your shareholders, and in this equation, understand what is it that your boss expects from your role as well, and try to draw a good balance of that. Play according to the rules of the game. If someone else is paying you a salary, you have an obligation to contribute to their agenda. That is why you're a part of that organization. And by some reason, if there is a huge conflict where you feel like, you know what, this is in conflict with who I am as a person, I don't want to be a part of this, I don't want to be doing that way, like I said, go find a place that is in line with what you are aspiring to achieve in life. Don't waste your time in an organization like that. But if you decide to stay in the organization, prioritize what is expected by the people who own and who earn, right? And also another important thing is, these are not easy things to do. You probably realize most of the principles or the guidelines that I shared with you so far have a seemingly, they tend to conflict with each other, or they tend to sort of contradict with each other. So because of this, here's what I want to say. These are general tips that I'm sharing with you. And if we get the opportunity to spend one-to-one time with some of you, we will be able to customize this solution. We will be able to analyze your solution and give you specific feedback. That is where a lot of you should consider having a good mentor for your career, or for that matter, having a good coach for your career. Let me share with you, that's also one of the guiding principles that I want to share with you. If you get the opportunity, read about this gentleman called Bill Campbell. He's referred to as the $1 trillion coach. And if you know about him, give a thumbs up or leave a comment here. Bill Campbell is known as the $1 trillion coach because he has been the personal coach to all the top executives, shareholders, directors of the Silicon Valley giants like Facebook, Google, and Microsoft. Imagine if you're the CEO of Microsoft or Facebook or Google, and you can hire an executive coach to grow your careers. Why aren't we doing that? Think of it like this. When you were in school and you were struggling with some of the subjects, you went for a private tuition master and you got your support. Again, I don't want to get into a philosophical discussion about whether that was right or wrong. But the reality is, if there was somebody helping you, guiding you on the things that you weren't sure about, to bounce off ideas, to make right decisions, that help you grow to the next level, right? And remember when you were trying to get into that sports team in school, when you were trying to get into that cricket team or that rugby team or the swimming squad, and when your parents took you to the coaching camps, if you're in Sri Lanka, the famous cricket coaching camps like the one that me and my friend Kamlesh, who's here, we went to, Coles or NCC or SSC. We had some fantastic coaches down there who helped us when we were young. Or if you're a rugby coach, an aspiring rugby player, you went for rugby coaching camps. If you're a tennis player, if you're a swimmer, you took coaching. And they helped you to get into the school team. They helped you to perform very well. So if we got all that help when we were young students, when we were aspiring sportsmen, somewhere down the line when we got into careers, where did we stop this? Why did we stop it? And here's another thing. We need to continuously invest in ourselves. And a lot of us like to think that it is the responsibility of the HR people in the organization to give us training. So a lot of us love to go to our appraisals and tell people, hey, I asked for a sales training, I asked for a communication training, I asked for a Ashka, I see that, yeah. So my friends are giving some lovely comments. So coming back to that, when we love to go and tell, you need to give me that presentation training, you need to give me that sales training, you need to tell me how to use this system, that system. Yes, I agree with you. It is the responsibility of the management and the HR of the organization to give you the training. But here's what I'm asking. What is stopping you from investing in yourself, going for a seminar, taking an online course, paying for a coach, and getting yourself sorted? If your next level promotion if your next level promotion gives you perks that are upwards of hundreds and hundreds of thousands, what's stopping you from spending a mere 10,000-15,000 rupees and getting yourself coached? Now that is our limiting thinking as corporate employees that limits us. And this is the difference between senior executives and corporate level. And let me share with you my personal experience right now. Due to confidentiality reasons, I can't be disclosing names, but right now with some of the leading corporate organizations, some of the directors of listed companies, we work with them on a one-to-one basis on their executive performance. Because the thing is this, you might be fantastic at what you are doing, but there are blind sides that you miss out on that. Here's the thing, I'm not promoting coaching here saying that you need to hire a coach, but if you have somebody like a mentor that you can maintain this relationship, work with them. Get their feedback, because here's the thing, you can wait for 5 years to learn it on your own, to make those mistakes and achieve that, or you can learn it from somebody who has already been there and done it. And if you can get that, you can fast track your career growth by so many years, right? So that is what I want to share with all of you guys. And before I wrap up, here is also another point that I want to make, especially if you're in a large organization. Understand this, consider yourself as a brand. Consider yourself as your own asset. If you do good things and keep quiet, understand businesses are not charitable organizations, they are not religious organizations. It doesn't it doesn't work on the merits of spirituality. Oh, I'm going to do all the good work for everyone, I'm going to keep quiet. One day organization will see me, will recognize me, and will throw me up. That's not going to happen. You need to start marketing yourself, promoting yourself. Again, please don't misunderstand. I'm not asking you to be some of those people who are lip servicing, some of those people who are very good at promoting themselves, just telling themselves. I can give you examples from my personal life. Some of the bosses that I've had, some of the people who were not good at their work, who just kept promoting themselves. Yes, they climb 1 or 2 levels in the junior management level really fast, and you probably start getting jealous. But the moment they get to a senior level, and where they have to perform, if they have not got their foundation right, they have always been exposed. Remember, when you go up, the harder you fall and the further you fall. So build your career based on these fundamentals, learn what is right, invest your time in yourself, get the help, and keep doing the right thing. That way, when you build your career to the top, it will go to the next level. And like I said, the last thing is you need to network well and promote the good things that you do. One of the ways to do that, guys, this is the last point because I'm mindful of the time and I want to share some time for Q&A with you as well. The last thing I want to share with you is promote yourself well. Identify opportunities within the organization, within the industry, where you get an opportunity to go and contribute with your knowledge and your skills, so that people recognize you, they spot your talent. I was 22 years I was 22 years when I got promoted for the very first time. Some of my friends who were with me in that organization, it was multinational, a large corporation, it was a bank. I was 22 plus when I got promoted, and in this organization, once a year, they have a global business partner conference that happens. This is 2008 December, and globally it was vice presidents, presidents, and assistant vice presidents who took part in this business partner forum. And in 2007, at that age, I was the youngest to take part in a global forum that was held in China. And my center manager at that time, one gentleman by the name of Alan Burton, a great boss that I had. When I asked him the reason, boss, I'm very young, I'm very new, I'm newly promoted, what is the reason why you're taking me on this business partner forum? The feedback that he gave me has been one of the best learnings in my career. Is that he said, you are one of the best ambassadors of your role and of our organization. You work so well with people and you promote our organization well with people. So I want to give you that opportunity to go and promote our center with our business partners in the region. So here's the thing, if you do good work and just keep quiet, in the corporate world, it is like being in a dark suit, to put it that way. Yes, it's a warm feeling, but nobody notices it. All right? So when you do some good work, always promote yourself the right way. That way, I'm also attached to this network called Business Networking International, where they teach you, once you build your visibility, that gives you credibility. Once you build your visibility, that gives you credibility, right? And when you're credible and you're visible, people will definitely promote you to the next level. So that's my time, guys. Thank you very much. Before we wrap up, once again, a very big shout out and thank you to my friend Asi, and also 1 Minute Motivation team. Spread the word. These guys are doing a fantastic job. And also my gratitude and appreciation to all of you for giving your time. Thank you very much. I hope some of this information is useful to you. Like I said, I cannot customize it to each and every individual, but do reach out. You can find me on social media. Do reach out if you want some personalized services. We can always help you with that, because remember, your career is very important. Your career is very important, and you can make it right provided you get the right guidance to do that. And if not, we're spending 2/3 of our adult waking life doing this, and if you don't enjoy this, that's a waste of life. So let me try and get a few questions from you and try to see if I can take this for you guys. Drop in a few questions. If you have anything in particular, we've got a few minutes before we wrap up for the day. I'd be very happy to share any personal, any specific information that you want, guys. I'm also waiting for my friend Asi to give a shout out and tell me if you have any specific questions that we got. So here's the thing. A lot of you asked about how do you deal with corporate politics, bad bosses and everything. Communication in that way is very important, guys. What I mean by communication is I encourage you to learn a little bit about handling difficult conversations. There are training modules on that, and also confrontations. That means when you have to discuss when you have to discuss unpleasant, ugly topics, how do you do it without offending people? That is a very important skill that you need to master if you want to handle corporate politics. Because here's the thing, guys. Well, in most organizations, corporate politics happen at the middle management level. Corporate politics do not happen okay, I'm having a question. Give me a moment till I finish this. Okay, Gayatri, thank you for your question. I will come back to that. So finishing the point that I was sharing about corporate politics is that corporate politics is always at a middle management level, because the owners of the business, the shareholders and the directors, what they want is the best for the business. And that means if somebody is doing good job, if they are earning the right money for the business, doing the right services for their customers, companies want to keep people like that. Insecure middle managers create corporate politics. So if you have a good network, if you have good interpersonal skills and you can build rapport with the right decision makers in the organization, you can address a lot of corporate politics. Coming back to what Gayatri has asked, preparing a checklist and just ticking that, is that going to help? Not really. Remember the keyword that I said is, when you prepare a schedule for yourself, pick the critical tasks that are adding value to the business. And also, it's not about just going through the motion and completing a report. Even if a report is a checklist item, ask yourself, when I do this report, who's the audience? Is it the management? Is it the customers? Is it the sales manager? What is the information that they want out of this report? And when you're doing that, try to add a little bit of value to that, so that the person who received the report receives something a little more than the report. So the idea is not to do the items that are in the checklist and just keep doing it. So some of my colleagues from my previous organization, Third Wave Group, are also here. They'll know that I was one of the lazy buggers at work. I didn't do a lot of administrative work that needs to be done. So if you ask me, did I complete all the checklist items? No. But I understood the most important things for that business, and I did them with so much of commitment and enthusiasm. The reason why I recommended have a checklist is so that you don't miss out on any important tasks that you need to do. By scheduling, you don't miss out on the critical tasks that you need to do. That was my purpose of recommending having a schedule. Otherwise, I'm all for creating value, guys. Even I'm also not somebody who thinks that hard work pays off. No, I'm all about thinking smart and working smart. So Gayatri, I hope that clarifies the question that I have. Okay, Lucky, thanks for the question. How do you maintain self-motivation at the organization? Let me share with you a thing that I do. Vindya, Ayya, thank you very much for joining. There is another question there as well. Some things by seniors and intermediate people. So how do you show that I am adding value to the next level? All right, I'll come to that question. Let me address how do you motivate yourself. Like I told you, you need to have this conversation with yourself and tell you, what do I get by this monthly income? What do I get by this monthly income? And here's another thing. Okay, I wasn't going to share this because this is a conversation for another 1 hour, but let me share with you very simply. Here is a rule of thumb. If you get a certain amount of your salary, you need to maintain your monthly costs, your living costs, in less than 60% of these earnings, guys. That is a minimum requirement that you need to maintain. And 10% of this earnings, you need to spend it on doing something that you enjoy. We call it the play money. You need to take care of yourself, take care of things that you enjoy, right? And 10% of your earnings, you need to reinvest in learning and growing yourself. So 60, 70, 80. And 20% you should be investing it so that it gives you a bigger return. Don't rely on one source of income. I know that's a big idea that I dropped into 30 seconds, but once you sort that out and you keep spending your money for meaningful things, that itself is an internal motivation for you to keep doing your job and to keep growing yourself, guys, right? And apart from that, keep doing things like a personal hobby or things that you enjoy. That keeps you like a balanced and a happy person otherwise, Lucky. This is going to motivate you, and when you go to your office and do your job, identify some of the things about your work that you like. Sometimes it could be dealing with customers. Sometimes it could be some of the inspiring leaders at work. Sometimes it could be the fact that you get to travel because of work. Identify some of the things at your job, because the thing is this, all of us have 1 or 2 things about our job that we like. Identify that, do it with a lot of passion, and that will give you a little bit of motivation. Of course, there is a lot of things that you can do to keep motivating yourself. And on that note, because you asked, Lucky, let me see if I have that. I had a book here that says 101 ways to motivate yourself. If I can, okay, can't seem to find the book, guys, but you can educate yourself about how do you motivate yourself. That's fine. And Vindya has asked this question about, if I'm adding value, how do I show it to myself? So this is what I told you about. You need to be smart about marketing yourself, Vindya. About you need to think, what are the meetings, the forums, the networking events. Okay, here's another thing. Let me share with you from my previous experience at the bank. The bank had a lot of staff engagement events. We had karaoke nights, sports events, mercantile events, annual balls and things like that. You need to be at these places. I know a lot of us think we already work 12-14 hours a day, and on top of that, these guys ask us to come on Friday nights, on Saturdays to do these things, CSR projects and everything. Don't think like that about your work, because when you go for events like that, that's when you get to network and interact with senior management and higher people. People that you can't go during office hours and talk to them and tell them this is what you do. During these networking opportunities, you get to know them, and then it gives you an opportunity. Trust me, the reason, except for my first and the second job, I have never gone for a job based on a formal interview. It has always been through recommendations and networking. So you got to network with the right people. That gives you the opportunity to promote the good job that you're doing. Because I agree with you, Vinda, that there's a lot of corporate politics where a lot of insecure, incompetent middle managers try to get the work done from you, but never give you the deserving accolades and the appreciation. When that is the case, there is no point sitting there feeling sorry for yourself and feeling like a victim. You need to be smart about marketing yourself and promoting yourself in the right way. And you can do that when you go into industry associations. And here's the thing, your company should be good and smart enough to keep you as well. Once you have done the fundamentals, and if you're a top employee, you're doing your best and you're adding value, do not think that your life and your career is limited to this organization. Join an industry association and figure out your competitors might be more than happy to hire you, provided you have built a nice reputation for yourself for doing the right job. So don't limit your thinking that this is the only organization that you can learn and grow. I hope that answers. Like I said, a lot of these questions require a lot of one-to-one. Okay, some jobs by nature do not appreciate self-branding. Tilina, I get it. Again, this is not about being blatantly out there in your face viral marketing yourself. There are subtle ways of promoting yourself, Tilina. We'll have a chat offline on that. How much to invest on education? Again, a shout out to the guy who has asked the question as well. He's running one of the most fantastic training organizations in Sri Lanka. I would usually say 10% of your monthly earnings should be reinvested in educating yourself. Like I said, you can sit and wait for HR to pay and get you the training, or you can invest in yourself and learn. My good friend who asked that question, Shuo, my friend Asi, who's running this 1 minute motivation. We are also known as seminar junkies by some of our friends. On average, we've spent, what's the number, guys? About 2.5. Okay, let's not mention the numbers, but during the last 4-5 years where we have learned this art of self-investments on our education and growth, we spent hundreds of thousands of rupees, but I don't regret that decision at all. More than your paper qualification, which is also important, your academics, you need to invest in your skills. You need to invest in your competencies, right? A shout out to Toastmasters, if you all haven't joined the organization. Effective communication, confidence building, leadership building organization like that. If you're employed on your own, go to an organization like Business Networking International, or sign up for some online training programs and seminars. You need to invest minimum 10% on yourself. All right. Issues in balancing work and personal life. Any better ways to get through it? All right, Viro, thanks for the question. Guys, here's the thing. When you schedule your work, you need to schedule certain things with your personal life as well. And it's very important you have certain house rules. Okay, I understand certain jobs are demanding. I know you guys, Viro, are working 8 till 8, 9 every night and then have a good drink. I know that. But you got to draw some line somewhere and say, okay, if I work for 3 days a week till 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, 2 days a week, I'm going to clock off at 6 o'clock. And those 2 days, maybe I hit the gym, or maybe I go home early and then spend some time with my family. You have got to draw this line and do it. Maybe there are a couple of weeks closer to month end or the year end where you have to put in some extra hours, but don't make it a habit. If you're somebody who's working till 10, 11 every night, all 5 days for the last 6 months, there's a serious problem in prioritization. Let's have that chat offline. But otherwise, schedule important things to your life as well. Because here's the thing. If you end up earning a lot of money but you don't spend it on yourself, like one of my previous bosses said in a very crude way, you're going to earn a lot of money and one day you're going to die leaving all that money to your wife or your husband to enjoy it with their new wife and husband. So don't be stupid and save all this money for other people. While you're alive, spend these and enjoy life as well. The way to do that is set some ground rules, pick certain days, schedule some things that you like, and just keep doing it. Think of it as an important meeting at work that you can't miss. Keep doing that, guys. I hope that's useful. Okay, Sashi, thank you. All right, guys, thank you very much. I think we have definitely taken a lot of time. I'm honestly grateful for all of you for taking this time and being here with us. The recording will be available on 1 Minute Motivation page. So do share it with your friends if you think this is useful. Let them all get these principles. But here's the thing, these principles are not like Siddha Lepa or Panadol. It's not a one fix for all the problems that you have. Invest a bit of time. And okay, how to manage work when there is a 11-month-old during COVID-19. Sandun Fernando, there is a fantastic daycare called The Hatch. Send your kids to The Hatch and then you can start working. But sorry, that's a cheap promotion. But okay, here's the thing, guys. When you're working from home these days especially, and when you have young children that you have to take care of, you need to negotiate a deal for with your spouse, and if you have any support at home, you need to do that. So guys, between me and my wife, we take turns. When she has to do some calls, when she has to do some work, well, I have to take the turn and spend some time with my little one. I have a 3.5-year-old as well. So it's not easy. Trust me, it's not easy. But these are the compromises that we have to make, because at the end of the day, priorities are priorities. Your family is very important. Take care of them. That's more important, guys. You can always, like a lot of these great inspirational and motivational speakers say, when something bad happens to you, your company will always replace you. But when something bad happens to you, your family cannot ever replace you. So always take care of what is more important to you, guys. Right? Okay, so once again, share this with your friends, share this with your colleagues if you think this will be useful to them. And also, if you want any specific questions, you can always find us online. Asi will share with you more information. Never underestimate what you invest in yourself. For the last 5 years, I've invested a lot in myself, and that has taken me to great heights. Some of you here, my friends, know this about me as well. And I'm a big promoter of investing in yourself. Don't wait for other people, including your company, HR, and your business owners to come in and invest in yourself. You take a moment and then okay, what kind of rapport do you recommend should be built with your colleagues? Reasonable professional rapport. You don't need to be best buddies with them. You don't need to pretend that they are your friends and family that is close to you. No, within reasonable grounds, build decent rapport. Build rapport around your work. Build rapport around your professional lives. Build rapport around certain non-sensitive, non-personal hobbies that you have, common interests that you have. You might like sports, a good area to build rapport. Grab them and go for a game that you like. You might build rapport around things like movies or entertainment, or some of you might like things like how do I say it? Entertainment. You might like going for a concert. You might like going for a stage play. Build rapport around these things. I understand a lot of people tend to think that if you have been spending, 8-10 hours a day, and then weekends also, what the hell are you going to do with these people? That's not a right thing. I'm not saying every weekend you need to spend with your work colleagues. Pick one night a week. Pick one weekend a month where you go for one activity with them. If you're like, okay, by the way, I know a lot of my friends here will also think that Friday night bar hopping is a sport. It's not. Drinking buddies are good, but that's not a professional rapport building thing. If you're not careful, this can end your careers as well. So bar hopping is not a sport, but then pick something that I remember very early in our career, one thing that really bonded us was a lot of us loved playing pool. I don't know if that is there anymore. I haven't really been to one of the snooker, pool, something like that, or play some board games. It doesn't have to be every day, but these are some of the, and also if you all work with colleagues who have similar family structures, like young children, always take a family day out. These are reasonable. I mean, at the end of the day, you're spending 2/3 of your life with these people. There is nothing wrong in building decent rapport with them. But the important thing is draw a line. You don't need to welcome them into very close inner circles of your life if that is not the case. But there are always good things. Alright guys, alright, as much as I enjoy this, thank you very much. Before we get shut down by the authorities, I want to say, if there are any interesting topics that you would like to hear from us, please let our boy Yasi know through 1 Minute Motivation. They're doing a fantastic job, and they'll be more than happy to organize a lot of these events like this. 1 Minute Motivation is also in collaboration with okay, yeah, I am thirsty, Sira. Thank you very much. I'm gonna have some of my tea that I've been having for a while. Thank you. Right, so stay in touch, guys. Stay in touch. Thank you very much. So I'm gonna wrap up right now. Once again, all the very best to you. All of you have great potential in you, and I really believe in that. invest a little bit of time to discover that, get the right amount of advice, and always be willing to do what you can do. Don't expect for others to come in and do this for you. It's your life, it's your job. All the very best. Take care of yourselves. If you have any further queries, if you all have any other topics that you want us to discuss, like my friend Asi is talking about it here, leave a comment, leave some questions, leave some queries with us. We'll be very happy to connect with you again. Okay, this is your friend, this is your coach Sandun Fernando signing out. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe. These tough times are only a matter of time. If we do our part, if we are responsible, we can get over it really fast and then get back to our normal lives. Do what is important and take care of yourselves. All right. Thank you very much. All the very best. God bless you all. See you soon.